In today's checklist, we're taking a closer look at what can be a dangerous chronic health issue, high blood pressure.
Now, according to the CDC, it affects nearly half of all American adults. But a recent study still found that a lot of us don't even know that we have it. NBC News medical reporter Dr. Akshay Syal is here with more. Dr. Syal, good to see you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Welcome, first timer.
First timer.
Welcome.
Yeah, big day.
So when we go to the doctor, one of the first things they do, they take our blood pressure. Why is that important?
Right. So blood pressure is one of the most important vital signs we have, right? We think about our heart rate, our blood pressure. And so, every time you go to a doctor's office, the reason we check it is because it gives us a little window into your health, right? But Al, like everything in medicine, you can't really control something if you don't understand it in the first place. So we built a little animation for you, and we can just roll that here. So we're going to start here at the heart system. So this is actually, you can see here on your screen, the heart beating in the middle of the chest. And those little wires there, those are your arteries and veins. And we'll zoom in on those, Al. You see that?
Right.
And so that's how blood flows in the arteries, right? And so that force, that blood there that's pushing against the walls of the artery, and we have it out here for you to see. That's what we talk about when we talk about high blood pressure, right? We're talking about how hard this is pushing against the walls, right? You can sort of think of them now like pipes in a house. Okay,
but now normally, look, I assume everybody's blood pressure is a little different, but in general, what's a good blood pressure, an ideal blood pressure?
It's a great question, right? And so really what we aim for, Al, is 120/80. And honestly, the lower we can get, if you're 115/74 around there, that's what we love. Anything higher than that, you really want to talk to your doctor about controlling it.
So why, once it gets higher, why is that dangerous?
Yeah, so Al, the reason it can be dangerous is because, the blood pressure, every organ system in our body has arteries and veins. And so that means that blood pressure leads to all of these organs. And if you get damage in those arteries and veins, you can actually see here on your screen, it can be linked to things like stroke. It can be linked to heart failure if your heart is working too hard. It can even cause kidney disease, right?
So that's why you want that baseline, so that if things start to rise, you have a better idea.
Exactly, Alan. You see here on your screen, we have the silent killer. If you have symptoms of high blood pressure, it may be too late. So you really want to get this under control as soon as you can.
All right.
All right. So let's take a step back. What causes it? I told you, high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And I said, what caused it? And she said, there's a lot of things that can cause it.
There's a lot of things that can cause it, including genetics, Jill, right? And so we have a few on your screen here, and I'll walk through these. Lack of exercise. This is a big one. So when we exercise, we actually train our heart muscle to get stronger and to pump more efficiently, right? And so if you think back to those pipes, those arteries and veins, if there's less pressure on them from the exercise, that's going to be better for your blood pressure. High stress, same thing. It can cause spikes in high blood pressure. And then also, Jill, being overweight, right? If you're carrying a lot of excess weight, your heart's going to have to push really hard, putting a lot of pressure on those pipes. Some lesser known ones we wanted to talk you guys through. Jill, this is a big one. Sleep apnea, right? So for those who don't know, sleep apnea is when, at night, if your oxygen levels drop, your heart has to pump a little bit more blood to get oxygen to those organs.
Sleep is so important.
Yeah. And, sleep apnea is something that you can actually screen with an Apple Watch. It's really easy to get screened for this now. Some other lesser-known associations here we have loneliness, right? Pain medications, and even sugar, right? Sugar can lead to excess body weight. So another thing we really want to control there, too.
All right. Okay, so give us a couple more tips to problem solve. How can we control these numbers?
Yeah, so this is where it gets really exciting, Kaylee, right? When we have patients in our office, we say, your blood pressure's high, but there's something you can do about it, right? It's not the end-all, be-all. So some things we like to recommend here, regular exercise. You want to aim for 30 minutes a day. That's all it takes. It can lower your pressure by about, 5 to 8 millimeters of mercury, which is a lot.
Significant.
It's significant, exactly. Making sure you're sleeping 7 to 9 hours, making sure you're getting time to relax, easing stress, taking some of that pressure off your arteries. Kaylee, you want to limit ultra-processed foods, right? Foods that are high in sodium and in sugar. They can actually lead to high blood pressure as well. And if you need to, you can ask about medications. They're always available as an option.
We've all been in that position where you walk into a doctor's office, you're a little nervous, maybe that could elevate your numbers, but you have some tips for how to do this at home, taking your own blood pressure with a very special guest.
Yes, a special mom.
Jody.
We have so this is so a peek into our family dinner ritual. You've heard of a family that prays together. We take our blood pressure together. It's very, very important. So we have here a blood pressure cuff. And the reason we wanted to show this, guys, so many patients will ask us, I took my blood pressure, laying on a sectional couch watching the season finale of White Lotus. That's not what you want to do. No. You want to be relaxed. You want to have a table like this, have your arm at resting height. and feet flat on the floor. That's very important. Try to avoid wearing heels if you can at home, of course. So that's the best way to sort of take that blood pressure. But for today, it's her first time on live television. I'm not going to take her blood pressure. Don't worry.
Is there a better time to take your blood pressure than others?
You know, what I usually tell Al, an hour after waking up, usually twice a day is what I recommend people. An hour after waking up, right before bed. Make sure you're relaxed for 5 minutes before, guys, and you don't want to be doing something too stressful like watching, a scary show or something like that.
Just
Shark Week.
Watch
First appearance, you crushed it.
Thanks
for having me.
so much, Mom. Thank you.
Thanks, Mom, and hi, Dad.
What's your mom's name?
Jody.
Jody. Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Didn't want to just say hi, Mom. Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.